Coming at you.
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome! Hi! We've been here for a minute.
We have.
Hello.
So we're just saying hello to an empty room.
To you.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Super Deep, the weekly actual play D&D live stream adventure catalog. Yeah. That's what it is.
Hello.
Hello. Quick around the table. We've got this empty chair, which will be Brandon when he gets here. Brandon is playing Halleck, who is a Azamar arcane archer. We have Meryl.
Hello.
Tara, who's playing well, go ahead. You're here. I don't have to explain.
I'm a wizard.
Okay, cool. Human wizard.
I'm
Necromancer.
A human necromancer. I'm a human
Pulling on some like Meryl Streepy vibes.
wizard. Yes.
Yeah, she's got a big tome.
Spell book.
Big spell book that
Sort of has a life of its own.
yeah, that
The
used to be
pages fly out.
Hallister Blackcloaks. You had an interesting encounter with Hallister this last session. So last session we had some technical difficulty. Let's keep going around the room. We've got Minerva right here, who was an animal, was a cat, was a chicken, you're all sorts of things.
Rat,
Mhm.
rabbit, fox.
But now you are a human again,
For now.
correct?
Yeah.
You seemingly tripped a trap, some sort of ancient dwarven trap that suffused you with holy mystical energy of the Undermountain, diffusing the magical curse placed on you and transforming you into a new type of creature because you still have your shadow magic, and you are a paler version of yourself. You are a shadowier version of yourself. So you still don't feel
Quite right.
You don't
Quite look yourself.
We haven't let you guys interact yet, so I don't want to reveal too much.
Yeah,
but
I'm
when
not
we get
here.
when we get back, we'll explore that relationship because yes, you are correct to assume that things are not quite all the way. Over here we have Selah Lackman, who's Bryce down here in the Cornsies.
Dell's pride and joy.
That was pride and joy.
Did you see how big his smile was?
Yeah,
that made
him so happy.
Loves him. That's nice.
Just try and wipe that smile. Just try.
Can't do
I
it.
can't. No, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Now he's blushing.
Oh, Dell's little cherry cheeks. How apropos. Is that the right use of that word?
Yes, it's very
Very well.
appropriate.
Man, it would have been better if I hadn't said that.
Too appropriate,
Just a minute worse.
perhaps.
I loved it.
I like that word.
I'm just gonna check the stream and make sure it's functioning.
But if it means appropriate, why doesn't it
Talk about yourself,
pro?
Sam.
Oh, Selah Lackman, Oath of Conquest Paladin, human. And while I was down here to take over this Undermountain for myself, and used it to start a war and take over the rest of the world. But now my brother's involved, and I don't necessarily
Yeah,
trust
you're not
him.
feeling too good about that anymore. As a matter of fact, we have some new intel that. Hey, there we go. Taylor, the great white nerd, our patron, Mayor Robin Bobin has joined us.
Mayor Robin
Bobin!
Thank you, sir.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome. The dogs are so excited about Mayor
They
Robin
have-
Bobin.
They heard
They
that
have
word.
They're
This is just the Raimi
I can't
can
play
right now
Raimi.
because it's just facing down.
Is it?
Well, as she runs by, you can see her.
Oh, okay.
Put a GoPro on Raimi.
So,
Oh, the
she's-
one that's
yeah, she's just running into the other room. That's perfect. Awesome. Hey, dude, what's up? Yes. So you're down here, and yeah, you've got a bad feeling about this, and also, I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect. Seeing the Undermountain, being here, kind of pulls you away from the conflicts and the issues that your character was dealing with, the things that were motivating you, the kind of the carrot that was keeping you along your path has been kind of removed. But we'll go into that some more in a minute. And then we have Dell, the halfling.
Dell Cherry Cheeks, halfling rogue thief. trap master specifically. He enjoys
Mr. Cherry
setting,
Cheeks.
seeking after, and I don't know. I think it's only two things you can do with traps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look for, spring them. You can spring a trap.
Sure.
You do that.
I'm sure
Build
you'll
'em.
find all the ways.
He does that.
All the things to do
He
with
likes to
traps.
grab things. The mayor knows all about me.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we're happy to provide a distraction and make your journey to Monday a little better. We will go ahead and get the session started. So, at the end of last session, off camera, as our viewer knows, we had some technical difficulties. So we ended up playing most of last session off camera, and that was cool. We had a lot of fun. We had some near death.
That was an unfortunate thing to have happen. An important story moment. She wants to play too.
So, sorry, I'm just trying to do 12 things at once on the computer. I'm going to make the screen a little bit. No, I'm just going to make it smaller so I'm less distracted by the stream stuff.
Okay.
You know how that goes. Put this other thing in front of me so I don't think about it. All right. So last session we had some harrowing near-death moments. In the meanwhile, while you guys were getting smashed around, Meryl and the rest of the crew, who still is missing, you guys taking refuge in your reward, which was sleeping overnight in the heart of the mountain, which is this like sacred temple deep in the Undermountain.
Did she level up? I think so.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well,
Time happens for me too.
meanwhile, we
in this
played a little
scenario.
session after everybody left, and
Oh, I can imagine
Yeah.
they were not. I mean, they got sucked into a hole or something.
she
right?
was actually held captive by Hauser, but I'll let her tell you more about that. When the scene starts, I'm going to go ahead and rule that we are already in the middle of a combat sequence, just to kind of keep it fun and active.
Great.
You guys have met up only with Meryl. The rest of the crew is still gone.
And they weren't with me. I disappeared completely on my own. And they.
You know that they were that Hallister alluded to capturing them, but he never revealed anything
Okay.
of substantial evidence to where they were or. And when Halleck returns, just to keep the everybody on the same page, he's basically all three of them will have spent that time just diverted from you, thinking that you guys were lost from them, kind of like running the maze, so to speak. He kind of kept them moving in pieces, so he never actually captured them so much as just kept them.
Diverted them?
Yeah, he just was able to send them down paths. And that's one of the things that he did reveal to her, that he kind of flexed a little bit and showed a little bit of what he can do. Why isn't my music playing? That's what I want to know.
I have Marley on hands points.
Marley on hands point. Shit.
Oh, dang.
Where's the shit? Where are the drugs?
Oh, it's Bluetooth in my headphones. Is why.
Oh.
No, I hear it. Music. Okay, cool.
Is this music?
Is this music?
Is this
Are
music?
you guys listening to music?
Oh, it's over.
Oh, when I have kids, I'm gonna let them listen.
I'm gonna let them listen
Have
to
music.
this.
I think that's a good thing.
Is it over?
Yeah. Oh, is it coming out of
Listen
the black or the green?
I like
Black. I like that.
Oh, it's not playing anymore?
All right.
It's my favorite.
And this has been Vines with us idiots. Thanks for tuning in.
Just
So-
turn it off.
You wake up in the morning rejuvenated, having slept in the safest place you've been since you started this journey. Despite being lower in health, your wounds from your scar are completely healed. So you have no chance of infection. It's just scar tissue now. So you are missing all your ear completely on the one side. The golem ripped off
Smooshed
the
it
back
off on the
half of your
stairs, I
face.
imagine,
Yeah.
Jesus.
But you don't have, it's just like a fleshy wound now. It's healed completely through. The restorative powers of this chamber kind of taking effect. Something you could take note of. This might be something you could reuse. And you guys head out, and as you head out, you're almost instantly, you meet up with Meryl, who has only just been released from Hallister's private sanctum on one of the lower levels. And when she does, she kind of appears before you, and you can kind of tell them what...
Just like in the middle of a moment?
Yeah. I
where
said
I'm
I
going?
misspoke. That when I give you control of your characters again, for real, we'll be in the middle of a battle. We'll be at the end of a battle because we'll be heading to the next level. I was just for narrative flair.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
as a flashback, you appear and you guys can have a moment and like So you just like teleport.
Yeah, I just appear.
Yeah.
Did he tell me where he was sending me?
Curb
I guess just in the middle of a conversation.
He didn't.
said-
He had stopped speaking.
Why?
He had stopped speaking to you, and at one point you reminded him that you were there, and he looked alarmed.
Oh, yeah.
Like he looked alarmed, like
Guy surprised.
like
yeah.
he
Options.
didn't
He's,
remember who you were.
fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
and he snapped his fingers, and when he does,
That's right.
you're in front of your younger sister.
Uh-huh.
And so you guys see each other, and of course, I don't know how you would react. I don't know if you're the huggy types, being hardened adventurers.
I feel like I would walk slowly toward you because I want to get a good look at you. Obviously, I'm kind of in awe. I'm obviously happy about it, but I do seem slightly less surprised than you would expect me to.
Roll an Arcana as you're giving her a
Okay.
one-over. So she immediately pulls out
I'm happy
Alistair's
about
handbook,
it, but
and
yeah.
and as she does,
Minerva.
she reveals she even just through her dialogue with herself, you know that she knows something
This
more.
be you.
She knows something more about your transformation than she's like letting on.
Arcana is a 27.
For sure. So, just by giving her a precursory glance, you're gonna have to maybe do some different spells. Maybe an identify or a detect magic spell. Maybe like over the course of like some downtime,
Sure.
figure out the extent. But something, the curse that your older sister used to try to kill the both of you,
Maven.
that you would reverse, that had caused your original situation, you know was magic that had been pulled from the Shadowfell, and you were suffused with this anti-energy. The Shadowfell is like the perverse reflection of our universe, and you're in his notes, you're looking through like his experimentations with this magic, because he just has notes, and the notes are starting to fill themselves in. So even as you learn things, it's like different pages are getting more and more stuff that you can't even read now. You know, the book doesn't actually get any bigger, but it has more and more pages through it, and you can tell that she is like seeping, that her connection to the Shadowfell is only getting more powerful. And as she gets more powerful, as you get more powerful, you run the risk of being pulled completely into that dimension and not being able to
Come back.
So
have a
you're-
material form
So
anymore.
she's partly in the Shadowfell
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah, and she
basically.
draws her energies basically from the little snip in the fabric of reality, the little tear. You draw your power from the thread that you can pull from it. You
Have you seen
exist.
Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like when Will comes back from the upside down? There's still like bits of the upside down.
Yeah,
left over?
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And in that context,
No,
it'd be
that's
like if Will, if the conflict for season 3 was that Will just keeps fading to the upside down, and when they bring him back, they find that like the you may not have a material body at level 20 if you if you guys don't figure something else out. And with
So-
that, you might lose more of yourself than just like your life. You know what I mean? Your
Right.
character might warp it to your whatever you want to play that. But
Did Hallister? So did he basically make it worse
so what
by
she
bringing?
so what she
her into
explains
this
what she
human form again?
explains to you when she's asking this question, this a rhetorical question.
Right. I
and
guess I'm.
Wondering out loud as I
Yeah,
always do for
and-
myself.
she's revealing that while held captive, Hallister was showing her you guys fighting, not
Mm-hmm.
all of your conflict, but and when you found the trip for that door, it actually wasn't the trigger. The magic runes that were running through the structure needed to be activated at an altar in another part of the dungeon. And Hallister,
In efforts to win our favor.
to kind of show, I don't know, he took interest in Minerva.
Flexing.
Sorry, Meryl. And also you, and all of you. You guys met that wizard.
He congratulated us on making it this far
So
into the dungeon.
he was
He's very
trying to
impressed.
kind of show her that maybe you only made it as far as you did because you still have his blessings, or that he doesn't
told
wish you any
me.
harm right now. Go
I
ahead.
forgot.
Now, what he told you? What did he tell you? I think that was basically, it was more
Yeah.
like a general statement.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Basically,
super.
that he was talking about how he was impressed
Mhm.
that we'd made it this far, and I think what Meryl disseminates is that he's still very much in control here. That I was looking through an arcane eye at like exactly what was going on in the moments that I wasn't there with you, and he sort of was like, look at it, watch it happen. So he's
trying.
He's very much in charge of
it was half of a goodwill
and he's
gesture,
insane.
but it was also a bit of a flex.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, but mind yourselves, that kind of. You're only here at his behest. Is the message he wanted to send your way.
And
He-
then the crazy lunatic lost his mind and
He
forgot that I
also
was even
showed
there.
you. He also showed you a little bit more of. He showed the other side of the portal, and he showed the Mind Flayer and Ovar and Ov and Ivar, like following you guys, and kind of went on to imply something nefarious. At first, he thought that you guys had brought them with you, but then once he kind of realized what was happening after he talked to Meryl, he realized that you were being followed. So you guys were being. She also was like, we were being followed at your brother's request. So that, however that news sits with you, you can mull it over. But as you guys kind of head on, as you're talking, and you can think of anything else you want to add to this, but
You could double back.
yes, you could do that if you want to. If you want to do that, I'll let you do that instead of railroading you down the next level. Do you guys want to
Probably not.
go deal with that?
Let's just clear this dungeon ahead for these 3 turkeys and just let them catch
Well,
us
they
up.
are cut off. So when you guys went through that arcane portal, Hallister used his magic to stop them from coming through. Because he thought you guys were trying to bring some reinforcements down there, which is why he split you guys up in the first place. But Mara was able to kind of like smooth talk it and like talk to him like as if she might be interested in being one of his apprentices, because he's all about collecting little wizard
He
apprentices.
does so many things.
And he
We've
likes
learned
having
so
people in his
much. You and I can be
his
more
dungeon.
powerful
Like
than we ever dreamed.
it's important that there be people winning and people losing. To him, it's all about chess games. He thinks he's in charge of everything, and maybe he is. So,
That's interesting.
yeah. So if you guys keep heading down towards, remember the only way off of this area is through the tunnels that the Umber Hulks made, and you guys find the initial tunnel, the ascending tunnel that they came out of, and I forgot that we needed to join up, so never mind. There's no combat. Ignore that I said that. What you do find is that there, once you guys get kind of down this tunnel, that it becomes so steep that it's not impossible for you to climb up. It's just wide enough that you could, like, maybe shimmy with a little bit of, like, time. It would be hard to do if something was chasing you, but it's almost completely vertical. So you guys have to kind of, like, slide yourselves down very carefully. It doesn't require any checks or anything, even from you and your plate, because it's fairly close. The Umber Hulks, they stretch when they burrow, so their chitinous armor has lots of give. So you guys make your way down to the next level. Which I did not grab the menu for
Imagine Dell can't reach like this, so he's gonna get
I would imagine also, by the way, that my 4
I meant to reach
Undead Grimlocks,
We got the second
Buggy,
story where it's gonna
Bozo,
be
Butts, and Bug did not
They did.
follow me.
He's
But I lost connection with them when I got sucked
they were
into
separated
the-
with the plotters, the followers. Yeah, so yeah.
And then they will unanimate at some point, right?
No, they just will no longer be under your control. But they are just zombies.
Oh, they'll
Yeah.
still just be
Yeah, they're
walking
just-
around.
Now they're just monsters that some other adventurer is going to have to deal with later.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that.
All
I
right.
love that.
I will. Yeah, that's great.
I've created undead.
You should do that more often. Just like
Well, if
fill
I
a
kill...
fill a dungeon room with zombies and
Yeah.
block it off behind us and
Leave them.
live in there. That's basically a trap. Dell approves.
I can regain hit points
There.
if I kill with a necromancy spell, which is cool.
All right.
I can harvest. Oh wait, that's what that is.
Go, gadget.
Ranger. Go,
So just for the purposes of kind of understanding in the meta what this next area is going to look like, we're going into a place that's going to be pitch black. So as you descend, you lose all your lights. So I assume that you probably produce your dancing lights at some point, which in my head are always this purple color. This is why I picked that for like all the art and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's always this one color, and it always kind of makes everything glow a certain way.
Papa-like.
So even as you are kind of shimmying down, you can send them down in front of you, so you're not like caught
Shimmy,
by surprise. But this entire, as you get into this open space, this is going to be a dark other than your light source. So imagine pitch blackness with only the 30 foot of light, and then like the other 30 feet of dim light that you can see beyond that. And you can feel that it's super cold. So as you guys kind of go down, it takes you a good 20 minutes to work your way down this tunnel. Parts of it are easy for you to climb through, and parts of it you have to kind of like shimmy down. And as you get lower and lower, you can feel every 100 feet, the degree, it drops about 10 degrees. So by the time you get all the way to the end of this, it's very cold. It's like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's not gonna like affect you necessarily. Maybe sleeping you'd need to like make sure you had insulation or a fire if you wanted to sleep or bundle up naked together, which is always an option. I don't want to react to that at all.
We're like, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, cool, sure. All right.
I like had a facial expression.
Okay, well, you just jammed at the camera then. It's fine. This is fine.
They
That's,
are taught.
that's why they're there. Make sure we get your little face, Jimmy.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're not. I was just. You're kind of off. There we go. So you guys climb down. Yeah. So it's really cold, and all the spaces that you go into are going to be big open spaces that were all hand wrought by like pickaxes a long time ago. So this is not a natural cavern. It is a handmade cavern, but it doesn't have. It doesn't have. Yeah, and it actually it probably was made by some other race other than the dwarves. It's probably made by. Without making any rolls, I can't really tell you, but it doesn't have the craftsmanship of like a dwarven like structure. It's yeah, maybe a mine. You might think this is probably a mine.
Yeah.
A lot of it could have been done with different types of magic or explosions, but it's not flagstone, and it's not this. You were just on this like really immaculate dwarven level, and it's very the contrast is very sharp.
Okay.
Also very cold. Doop. So you guys make your way down this tunnel, and it kind of opens up into this space. These like series of tunnels. They're 10 feet wide, and like I said, super high. Like you can't see with the edge of. You have superior dark vision, right? So you do like 120 feet. So you can almost see the top, but whoever carved out these spaces made these incredibly long hallways, and they do feel like natural caves. It does give you that feeling, except you can tell that they are connected with a sense of organization. That's what really gives them away. It's not so much the craftsmanship, but the fact that you can tell that these are not natural caverns. They would not have this like very systematic crisscrossing. Do you guys want to roll a perception for me? Disadvantage if you're using sight, other than old dark vision over here. If you want to use smell or some other sensory perception, that's fine.
Oh, damn. Got a nat 20 and a 6. Sorry, so perception is 9.
So we'll just use your static, which is 18.
Oh, duh.
19.
Yeah, sorry, I
No, you're
forgot.
fine.
Passive 12.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
23.
What were you just using a sight perception?
Yeah.
Good.
Do I have disadvantage on hearing perception check? No, is that why you? Well, I was wondering why you asked that.
Because it's real dark.
No, your ear being gone is an aesthetic change. I think that session was harrowing enough, and I definitely want to make sure that if I'm assigning negative effects, that I kind of have them in the chamber ready to go. I hate to be like, oh, by the way, last session, that thing that you've already moved on from, well, you're doing this, unless it was like a cool story thing, but not just to like fuck on your stats.
Not while I'm eating my Tim Tam.
No, you eat your Tim Tam, keep your
Whatever, that
stats, it's
experience.
fine. You still have an ear. You just don't have the flap.
I just don't have like the pretty
Yeah.
part.
It wasn't like blasted off. It was just like the back part of your head just
Smooshed off.
got smooshed.
Smooshed off.
You got smooshed to boosh.
You got smushed here.
I actually have a cousin whose ear was stepped off by a bull, and straight up it just leaves a hole on the side of your head. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all he's left.
Do you guys want to head? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you notice everyone's like looking around, looking up. She's like, she's like, and everyone's trying to be quiet. It's very quiet. This is a very like, it's cold. There's like, you can hear drips in the distance. And everyone's looking around, and Dell's the only one who kind of like, he's like, I don't know. He like stands around, and you look around, and you step back, and you realize that all of you are standing in a giant footprint in the kind of that's caused by like the wetness. The caves are kind of dripping and forming little pools of fairly clean water, actually, like drinkable water.
What is this foot? Go ahead.
What
Yeah.
in the?
I'm sorry.
What
what
made this?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
what
made this?
Well,
What
you
is
would need to
this?
make a roll to know that some sort of giant. Yeah. Everyone roll me a stealth real quick.
Sorry.
You can roll with advantage because of him getting your attention and doing his little swat.
Good job, Rogue.
Thanks, bro.
Granting you the
Oh,
action
thank
on it.
you. Look at that.
No one doesn't count anyway.
True.
18.
18.
Rolling for
What'd you roll, Minervs?
18.
Nice. What'd you roll?
No, not 20.
Nice. What'd you roll? Sneaky McWigglebottom.
32.
Nice. Yeah, you are. Shit. Hold on, I got something.
Sorry,
for
that was a bit.
How much was it really?
32 for real.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I just like looked at my sheet and like went through the whole thing. Just to, like,
No, I downloaded that Darker Dungeons thing that was on Reddit, and there is a fun thing for like little tiny boons for overachieving, or like for rolling super high on.
Oh,
things.
nice.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds.
That's cool. That's cool. That's gonna happen like every time I roll a stealth check though.
That's great.
Well,
We need that shit.
Man, I'm not gonna
Same
do it every
roll.
time.
I know. I was just being cheeky.
You would be. Cherry cheeky.
John Cherry Chat.
Mayor, I took expertise in stealth, so I get to double my proficiency bonus. Is that mansplaining, or can I do that?
You're so
He
cute.
probably knows, but it's cool. You're practicing for like viewers at home.
Thanks.
Yeah, always tell me. I've been playing D&D for 1,000 years. I still don't know. I'll never know how all this stuff works. Tell me how your features work. I don't care. All right, it's eating up my bandwidth, so never mind. Never mind. You don't get shit, Jimmy.
Eat it. That's your boon.
He said, "Sayla slips into the ethereal plane." It was Del, but yeah.
Oh
shit.
Oh my
No,
god.
no, no!
See, did I just download it somewhere?
Del climbs back up the hole.
I'm out. Too much.
Here, you guys can have this.
Okay, I'm wasting time. Let's get back to the game. So you do a nice stealth check. You don't actually think anything's around. It's just more like we're in this super cavernous place, and you are noticing that the drips you're hearing are not necessarily just from around you. Some of them are reverberating down the alleyways because of the way that these hallways are constructed. It reflects sound very efficiently. As if to help someone be alerted if something that's not supposed to be in their home.
What does it smell like down here?
It smells like the crushed Umber Hulks that you guys notice as you continue to walk. There's Umber Hulk shells and decomposing Umber Hulks.
Can I see a visual of Umber Hulks
Yes.
as you continue?
Let's put it on the big screen.
Put it on the big screen, Papa.
No, let's put it on the big screen, guys.
Let's put it on the big screen.
Put it on the big screen, put it on the big screen, put it on the big screen.
Put it on the big screen, put it on the big screen, put it on the big screen.
Where is the picture I like, though? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to show you the picture I don't like. What if I click on that one? No. That's better. Okay.
Okay.
Ew!
So it was that big thing.
No!
It dug the hole.
Oh my
Those are the things through the holes you were climbing through.
He's so pointy.
Yeah.
So angry.
Well, these are all dead.
So drooly.
Their shells crushed,
I don't like it.
and you see as you're walking through egg pods. You walk through this one chamber. They were just smashed.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody went through here. Somebody big came through here and
Like smack down on all the
and
Umber
scared a
Hulks?
bunch of Umber Hulks into the chamber above, which is why those
Why
Umber
we had
Hulks.
to do
Yeah. Exactly.
it.
As you move into the next space, you guys can move left, to your left, to your right, which seem to be indistinguishable from each other because you're going to have to travel down a series of these large tunnels. Or you can head into an opening that leads into you can tell, a much larger chamber. It's another like 60 feet, but you can feel the air blowing, the cold air coming through this chamber, kind of blowing through. That you can kind of tell these tunnels kind of move around this big open chamber. So do you guys want to go to the big chamber, or do you want to head left or right?
I think we should avoid the big chamber.
Yeah.
I
Do you want
agree.
Okay.
Oh, Del says as he turns around. Walks back towards you guys.
I mean,
No, he's like following them, looking for the next
You're
footstep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
That's
if
gonna be
you
a B, just
do, you want to head left or right then? North or south, to be more.
North.
Okay.
North? Okay.
So as you head
What
north
she says.
through tunnels,
Right. Okay, you go
takes you. It starts taking you a little bit northeast. There's an opening, a large cave-like opening to your left. Minerva, with your dark vision. Also, are you guys still using the light? That's my other question. Are you guys going to try to be completely stealthy, or are you going to just adventure
Can
carefully?
I have one finger bulb of light out?
Not with dancing lights.
oh.
Do you have the light cantrip?
My halberd has a 10-foot glove.
Okay, there you go. So you can cut
Okay.
down to just the 10-foot glow if you
Mhm.
want.
Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah.
Is it still dim light for how far out?
To 20, so it gives you guys 20 feet.
This is like
That will
straight up LOTR right
And
here.
that will allow you guys to move through this space, maintaining the stealths that you rolled earlier, until you encounter something, because you're going to have to go at half speed to move with a light source that small.
It's a fucking battle rock.
And there are tons of rocks. So the first thing you notice as you're walking through this space is that there are lots of polished, smooth stone, and because of that, as you walk around, it does cause you to have to be extra careful, because if you were to run
Pebbles?
pebbles, pebbles, smaller rocks, stuff that's fallen from the ceiling perhaps, or stuff that's been left or smashed from debris.
So this is difficult terrain?
No, it's just because of the well, you're noticing that parts of the because it's wet, parts of the rocks kind of slosh and kind of scrape, and as they slosh and scrape, they echo down these chambers. So if you guys are already kind of alerted to the fact that there might be giants in this area, you're gonna guess stone giants. I'm not gonna make you guys roll. You're on level 8 of this dungeon. You've already saw the giant footprint.
Shit.
They're not gonna be fire giants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cold, but it's not like icicle cold, so it's not gonna be ice giants or frost giants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the polished stones would definitely indicate stone giants.
Can anyone
I
cast
wasn't tracking with
silence?
that, but I am now.
Huh?
I said I wasn't tracking with that.
Silence can't move with you, unfortunately.
You can't cast it on an item. You have to cast it on a place
I think.
or pointed.
Yeah.
We'll just have to take our time
Hurry up. The
Okay.
joys
and
will
move slowly and quietly.
All right.
Damn it, I should
As you
learn to
move
levitate.
to this next further north, before you get to these like cave openings, or as you get close enough, before you, I'm in my head. If you're going slow and she can see with her dark vision quite a distance.
Oh, yeah.
She would know when to stop the light, like when it's gonna break a corner. So as you guys get to this first little break in the corner, and you kind of peek around, you can see and you can all smell the smell of like the sounds of like something
Can I go look at it?
like somebody straining, like and you hear maybe like a thud, like a gung gung,
Against chains or a door or something?
like a stone hitting stone,
Ooh.
like a thud, and then like heavy breathing, and then you can also hear like a from a little bit further down, because it's all kind of echoing, kind of muddling. It's revealing and kind of disorienting because you don't know the cave system. You also hear the slight like vroom, vroom of like an animal that smell's coming from. So there are definitely some living creatures up in this area, and you cannot see because of the way the cave winds, Minerva, which area has what thing. Well, that's a lie. As you kind of peek around the corner, you can hear that the grunting's coming from the first opening, and then there's another stone, and then there's an opening that kind of curves towards the north face of the wall, and you can see 2 large cave bears. And they're like gnawing on bones. They don't have chains on them. They look like pets. Like they have there is definitely like a like feeding trough, well not trough because they just like throw stuff in for the bear. But there's like a water trough and like bedding.
So probably not that way.
And then there's definitely somebody doing something in that other tunnel, but you can't see because of the curve. So she comes back and she can relay all this information. But
Nope, let's go back.
okay.
To the giant?
I think that's the giant. Let's go back the way we came and go
Is
south.
everything still running? It looks
I think that's the
frozen
giant.
on
Way behind on that.
my end here.
Okay.
Hold on
You
one
guys okay with
second.
that?
Yeah.
Fight a stone giant
Let's do it.
without 9 red legs.
Huh?
I said I don't want to fight a stone giant without 9 red legs.
I don't care.
Not particularly.
Cool. Let's go back
I
the other
don't
way.
care. Yeah.
Video is frozen and you
And-
can still hear us. Okay, well then I'm going to stop the stream and restart the stream. We will be right back.
Restart the stream.